When it comes to the HEV mid-size SUV crossover vehicle, there's not a huge amount of choice. Yes, you've got the Toyota RAV4, excellent by fuel economy terms, but there's a new player in town and it's the Honda ZR-V, which kind of promises the same thing, kind of. Much like the RAV4, the ZR-V has an engine, but when it tops with the battery and has enough charge in it, it shuts down again and you can drive around in pretty much silence. The one thing though that is different, almost euro for euro price-wise, for the same price as the entry-level ZR-V, you can get a plug-in hybrid version of the RAV4, which will do up to 100 kilometers. And there's where the engine shuts down and goes to sleep again. We really are splitting hairs when it comes to reliability between Toyota and Honda. I'd imagine both cars are going to last you a long time. What might be a personal preference difference is just the design of the two vehicles. And obviously there are other models available, but I'm just thinking RAV4, ZR-V, for price alone, they're very comparable. Lengthwise, it's just over 4.5 meters long, but it is 137 millimeters shorter than the new Honda CR-V, of which you can get a plug-in hybrid in. I reviewed that video recently. You can have a look at the link to watch it back if you wish. Something else that is a little bit underwhelming in this car for the size of it is the boot space. It is electrically operating, but here's the catch. It's 380 litres as standard, and then if you get a certain upgraded trim with a Bose sound system, which has a sub in the boot, it's now 370, and that means the boot is even smaller than the current Honda Civic. Honda do like to make a good wide opening door. The CR-V is probably best in class for that, and the ZR-V is pretty good too. Head height is okay, it's not spectacular, but it is all right. You get an armrest to make life a bit easier in the back. It's got a better angle than the ENY1 that I reviewed some months ago, that is for sure. There's a couple of drinks holders in here. You'll be able to charge devices with 2 USB-C and your own aircon vents back here, but you can't individually control the aircon. Plenty of space for your feet and knees, obviously enough. Certain trim versions will get heated seats in the back on the outer 2 seats where there's 2 ISOFIX, and the glass roof doesn't quite come all the way back here, but you still get plenty of light if you have that roof in the back. Something that I've noticed about the doors, I'll explain in the front. When you sit up here, it is classic Honda. Everything is so well built. The attention to detail in the air vents, the switches, climate controllers, physical knobs. There's a lovely feeling of quality to it. On the doors, so first of all, the way they're wrapped, I'd love to see just a few different textures and colours. It's all very black. The door bins are very, very small for bottles. Even getting a bottle that size, it doesn't go in, and even less so in the back. Now there is a little spine centre here, which you can't fit it in there either, and also the button selectors for the gears kind of takes up an awful lot of space. That would be so much better served, I think, it was on a stalk, the way maybe the Volkswagen Group are currently going. And there's an armrest, which is pretty decent. There's no further storage under here, but I suppose they do make it up for this part in the centre. You've got USB-C and A charging ports here and a wireless charging plate. And very few manufacturers offer this, but I love that you can turn it off if you don't need to charge your device, because that is the most obvious place to stick your phone, but you mightn't always want to be charging said mobile phone. The screen is built into the dash here. It's pretty decent. Colours and graphics are good. You've got wireless CarPlay, reversing camera. You can keep an eye on your power flow to see if you're using battery or engine performance. The speed beeps for the speed sign recognition, I can't find how to turn them off. I've literally been trying for a week. I don't know if it's buried somewhere else. If you know how to turn off the speed sign beeps in a Honda, please comment down below and share the good news with everybody. A nice colour display for the driver as well. Graphics are super sharp and you can manage a lot of the stuff, including radar cruise, from the touch of a button on the steering wheel. That makes life easy. And the seats are very, very comfortable. It is just all very black. The ZR-V is never meant to be particularly fast. It's just under 8 seconds to 60. It's got 184 brake horsepower from a 2-litre petrol engine. What it is meant for is comfort, decent-ish efficiency, and a car that is safe. And all of those things it does. In fact, there it is beeping me to tell me I'm doing a kilometre over the speed limit. I do find if you go down and then you go back again, it only gives you 1 beep as opposed to 3 every time. I suppose at least there is that. Visibility all around is great, blind spot, frontal collision avoidance. What it can't achieve is the same fuel economy as something from the likes of Toyota. 6.3 litres per 100 kilometres as opposed to 5, maybe even under 5 in some of the Toyota hybrids. So if you are purely trying to get the most fuel efficient option, this is perhaps not the car for you. But in many other ways then, it's so well put together. There isn't a rattle or a squeak. The car is heading for 8,000 kilometers on it. It doesn't do anything spectacularly well, but it's just a really decent all-round family car. It's very, very smooth and very, very quiet at lower speeds because it kind of behaves like an EV. You've got the motors doing the job. It's totally quiet. You can see how much your battery charge has. You can see it topping up and depleting as you drive. The engine will kick in for a bit, top it up again, and then disappear again. Like right now, it's like driving an EV. Towing capacity is barely 700 kilos. Your average caravan just is not that light. And even something like a Nissan Qashqai, which can be bought for quite a bit less than this, can tow more. I'm just going up to Knockmaroon Hill now, if you know that, in Dublin. So let's try it out and see, can we get up the hill in just battery? Stand by. Not quite, but it's not particularly noisy, and it is a CVT gearbox, so it doesn't really intrude in your life. And because it's a Honda, it generally drives well, handles well, less body roll than some of the competition. If I was doing a report card for the ZR-V, I'd say drives reasonably well, lots of safety for your family. The boot could try a little better. But have a nice summer. The Honda ZR-V, a pretty decent offering if you need a reliable family vehicle that will be kind of economical, that you don't have to plug in. If you do want that option and you want a bit more space, you're going to have to look at the slightly more expensive Honda CR-V. The boot is definitely compromised. The reliability is not. It should go and go and go. On the price of it, it's kind of thereabouts where a lot of the competition currently is, direct competitors anyway. It's pretty good to drive. It actually has enough power overall, and I think it looks okay, as good looking as you can make this style of vehicle be. So what do you think? Would you go RAV4 or would you go ZR-V? Let me know in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.